What up, guys? James from Bolt Bros here. Want to talk about a signing that Joe Ortiz just did with the practice squad, adding a cornerback and releasing a cornerback. Plus, I'm just going to say I'm still buzzing after that Chargers victory over the Raiders this last weekend. It's fun to be there. It's fun to be at SoFi, fun to witness it. And it is still, I'm relishing that victory. So, once again, guys, James from Bolt Bros, let's get into it.
Bolt Bros.
All right, guys. Once again, James from Bolt Bros. Love to be able to hear from you guys always. Throw in some comments below about this video. Like this video if you have not, and also subscribe to the channel if you have not. So once again, guys, very excited to be able to see some more additions to this team. You know, Chef Ortiz has been cooking quite a bit too, but I still am buzzing over being at SoFi this weekend on Sunday, being there to witness the Chargers in the first game of the Harbaugh era, finding a victory over the Raiders and just shutting them fans up. FTR all day, every day. So it's all three of the bros there, and the Bolt Sis there is hanging out with us with Chargers win in the background. Love it, guys. And just to throw one other little tidbit out there, Joe Alt versus Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins, 19 pass blocking snaps, 0 pressures allowed. That is big, guys. We got a right tackle, a guy that also could play left, by the way, too. He dominated this weekend, and it's great to be able to see a rookie out there not being phased by the game, not being phased by having some of the best pass defenders going up against that Sunday and doing really, really well. So very cool to be able to see, and great to be able to see Joe Alt just dominating at the line. So once again, this is also because of this guy, you know, Chef Ortiz. He basically brought in more talent that he has and understands how to fit for this physical nature of this team that Jim Harbaugh wants. He's done a great job. Joe Ortiz has done a phenomenal job of bringing in talent, and also at the same side, coming into a kind of a bad situation with kind of a salary cap situation and finding ways to basically clear it up and keep some guys here. Had to release some guys, but at the same side, it's the right idea. You know, Pappy is one of our buddy that said he met up and chatted with Joe Ortiz after the fan event at, I believe, Sharky's in Hermosa Beach on Friday. And he was saying like, hey, look, we're in win now mode. We're not win next year mode. We want to find ways to get to this point of winning immediately. And they've done a good job of essentially flipping the roster, but adding and retooling a lot of this roster to be able to be a physical team. I mean, even to say the game last weekend against the Raiders, there was physicality that happened in that game. I think it even frustrated the Raiders how physical we were. I think they weren't used to that at all. And Joe Ortiz has done a phenomenal job of making sure this team is to what they want it to be. The Jim Harbaugh physical team at the lines, physical at the wide receiver side of things. When you saw, I think it was, it was one of the catches that I think it might have been Lad McConkey, but there was like multiple receivers running with him downfield. It was a J.K. Dobbins run, and a lot of the wide receivers, tight ends were running downfield to continue keeping blocks in front of them. What an amazing thing to see with this team of physicality all around. And I love to see that players want to make their players be better when the ball is in their hands. And that's exactly what this team is doing. And I love to see it happen with the Chargers. It's been a long time coming since we've seen a team like this. So very exciting too, guys. And cool thing too, shout out to Joe Ortiz hanging out with Pappy after the fan event. And then also on top of that, showing up to Thunder Alley, hanging out with fans on Sunday. How cool is that? Gosh, that's amazing to see, dude. We got to be lucky. We are very lucky to be able to have a GM like Joe Ortiz. So excited. Now, to the subject matter here. Chargers have signed Nehemiah Shelton to the practice squad and released Matt Hankins. So a cornerback for a cornerback at this point. Now, Matt Hankins did good in preseason for us. I thought he looked great. I think he was a good addition to this team. But going back to Joe Ortiz, he wants to bring more competitors. He wants to find ways to make this team even stronger and better and faster, whatever it might be. Elements to be able to make this team even better. And what they ended up doing is saying, hey, you know, Matt Hankins did great, but we're going to go with Nehemiah Shelton, add another guy to this team. making sure you got more competitors, making sure that people play, and in my opinion, don't get complacent too. Just because you're on the practice squad doesn't mean you're really going to stay on that squad at this point. Everybody's going to shift around. People are going to be moving in and out of that whole area. It's about making sure this team is very physical, very locked in, and going to be ready every single day they go out on the field. That's kind of what Jim Harbaugh's philosophy is. Be ready every single day. Be better today than yesterday, I believe, or something like that. I don't know. Either which way, 1% better each day is what you want to do, right? And I think that's one thing that Joe Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh are completely in understanding of how to be able to keep building out this squad. So great to be able to see that. Now, just give you a bigger idea of who Nehemiah is. He was actually initially signed as an undrafted free agent in 2023 with the Jets. Basically was on the squad till October and then got cut. He ended up going to the Memphis Showboats in the USFL and then returning to the Jets in August to not make the squad. Now, he did have a very good college career in San Jose State. 45 games, 195 tackles, 32 pass defended, 8 interceptions, and also did get all conference honors in both 21 and 22. Now, I keep thinking, I'm like, where is it that we're going to win with him? What are we going to add to this team that maybe the Chargers and Joe Ortiz wanted to be able to get from him? Well, he's 6'2". He's got good height. I mean, that's great. I think having a tall cornerback is something I really like. 4.77 40 speed is not the fastest of anything. But the one thing that I was reading a lot about him is that he tracks the ball very well downfield, understands how to turn his head to not get penalized. He does a great job to basically avoid flags in that sense. Ball skills are very good. He could basically knock down 50-50 type balls. Very fluid and speed and quick feet to come down to defend the slot receiver. So there's some elements that he could be very physical in that sense to get to the slot receivers, but also attack the ball at the high point too for this team. Now, he doesn't sound like he's the best against, like, say, the run or anything like that. A little bit tentative and underpowered when stepping up against the run. Inconsistent getting off blocks, which is kind of tough. But outside of that, when the ball's in the air, he understands what to do with it. And that's really, really awesome to be able to see if you could add another guy like that to this team. So I'm excited to be able to see where he goes. Who knows where Nehemiah's, progress will be with this team. But once again, competitors welcome, right? Always add more talent to make this team better every single week. It's kind of a very Jim Harbaugh philosophy. Get better each day, right? And I think this is awesome to be able to see another addition to this team. What's your guys' thoughts? Love to be able to hear from you in the comments below. Throw some comments about it in the signing too. We always love to appreciate your guys' support. Like this video, subscribe to this channel if you've not. And once again, FTR all day, every day. Let's go, guys. Once again, James from Bolt Bros. Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching Bolt Bros podcast.